Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with an updated kind of wish list type video for you. Some of these are fragrances that I do want a full bottle of, but a lot of these are fragrances that are like newer fragrances that I really want to get my nose on. I am going to do a sister video to this that's going to be talking about fragrances that I am not at all interested in, that I do not want to smell, that they're not speaking to me. So this is a list of fragrances that are speaking to me that I either want to get my nose on, I want to buy a travel spray of, or I do want a full bottle of at some point. And again, these are all kind of newer designer fragrances. I don't think there are any niche fragrances on this list because, niche would have to be a completely separate video. Let me know if you want a video about like this, but that is about niche fragrances. Okay, so the first fragrance, some of these I remembered a bunch of them. Like if I thought of a house like Mugler, there's going to be like 3 Muglers in a row because I thought about 3 of them that I want. The first one that I know for sure that I want is the new one, the new Angel flanker that came out. It's called Angel Stellar. And I know I said I'm completely over pistachio and like I don't want to smell another fragrance with pistachio in it. It's one of those situations where it's just been overdone. I'm over pistachio. The Kayali Pistachio Yum has just been way, way overdone, and I'm just like, I'm over it at this point. However, the Mugler Angel Stellar Flanker apparently has like a pistachio note in it, and I think that would just smell beautiful with the Angel scent profile. So I really, really want to pick up a travel spray of that, and I definitely will at some point. I know I mentioned in a recent video that I really wanted to pick up a bottle of I really wanted to find a bottle of the Mugler Angel Liqueur fragrance that came out. I think it's a 2013 bottle. I always get it mixed up because sometimes I'll think that the first one came out in 2009 and then I have the 2011 version. That's not the case. I think the original version came out in 2011 and I have a 2013 bottle, if I remember correctly. And I really want to find a bottle of the original one, the 2011 version. You can find bottles of it on eBay, possibly Mercari. And I just need to buckle down and find a bottle. It always stresses me out though, looking for vintage or old bottles of perfume because you just never know what you're gonna get. You're always taking such a huge risk because you just don't know how it's been stored. And yeah, so that's why I've just been hesitant, but I do want to. Okay, I also recently saw, and I'll pop pictures of all of these up for you guys as I talk about these. I also saw that Origins I feel like the Origins ginger line went away at some point and they have re-released it. So I am starting to see the Origins ginger essence fragrance pop back up. And I don't know if it's the same as the original. I used to wear that. I would get it in a set from like Macy's back in, oh my gosh, like the late 90s and early 2000s. It would come with a perfume and the body souffle. I would usually have to buy it like twice a year because I would run through the set like in 6 months. I didn't wear it every single day because I've always like rotated other fragrances in, but I would wear it like 4 times a week easily. And I don't know if it smells the same as it did back then, but I want to find out. So I do think that I would like to have a full bottle of that in my collection just for the nostalgia of it. So I do think that I'm gonna wait until maybe Black Friday or maybe until after the holidays and see if I can catch it like on sale. I don't want to spend a ton of money on it because I'm scared that it's gonna be watered down and like just not as good as it used to be. But oh my goodness, I really want to smell it again. It's gonna be so nostalgic smelling for me. Okay, 2 of the newer Dior fragrances that came out. The Miss Dior Essence, I really want to get my nose on it. It's getting very, very, I would say more bad reviews than good ones. I feel like I've heard more bad things about it than good things. I think because people have like really high expectations for the Miss Dior fragrances, and I don't think that they probably should. the Miss Dior fragrances have been watered down a ton. They're not going to perform the way that the old Miss Dior fragrances did. And I just don't have super high expectations of them. So I think that because of that, I am not going to be as disappointed as other people. But I really want to get my nose on that new Miss Dior Essence, as well as the Miss Dior Parfume. The perfumer behind both of them is Maison Francis Kurkdjian. And not that he's like my favorite perfumer in the world, but I do think he makes nice fragrances. So I think that they're going to be fine. I think that I'll probably enjoy them. The older I get, the more I gravitate towards, you know, like easy florals. I really want to get my nose on them. Those I just need to go down to Ulta and just sniff them. I did not realize that YSL has come out with another Libre flanker, YSL Libre Vanille Couture. I have to get my nose on that. That's another one I could probably just go down to Ulta and sniff it, which I will probably do. At this point, I literally have 5 bottles of Libre. I've got 2 or 3 travel sprays of it. Like, I don't need any more in my collection. It looks like that one's also a limited edition and does not come in a travel spray. So I am definitely not going to buy a full bottle of it. And not unless it's like so magical that I feel like I have to have it. But I just, from looking at the notes, I don't think it's going to be that's going to be the case. I don't think it's going to be different enough smelling that I would feel like I needed a full bottle of it. So that is one that I do want to get my nose on. I will probably just go to Ulta and sniff it. But yeah, you guys know how much I love vanilla, how much I love Libre, and the combination sounds amazing to me. Next, I didn't realize that this Jean Paul, not that I didn't realize it, I did see that the Jean Paul Gaultier Divine line came out, but I really haven't paid attention to it too much just because, I don't know, I don't pay a ton of attention to like new perfumes, and I should. But anyways, the Jean Paul Gaultier Divine fragrance, just the original EDP, I want to get my nose on that one first. There is like a Perfume version of it, I believe, which it looks like I would probably like it better than the original, but I don't know. When you look at like Labelle, I like the original one just as much as I like the intense version. So really, I just need to get my nose on all of them. However, I did see that those fragrances have a salt note in them. So my mind immediately, and they look like they're kind of vanillic, ambery type perfumes. So my mind immediately went to Olympia, like Rabanne Olympia fragrances, because those are kind of ambery, salty, vanillic type fragrances. And I'm afraid that the Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances are going to be similar to those. And if that's the case, then I am not going to like them. So that one I almost ordered a sample of, but even the samples of the Divine line are really expensive right now. So I don't want to even invest in like a carded sample of it. I'm hoping that my Ulta has a tester of it. I can't imagine why it wouldn't. Okay, Lancôme La Vie Belle, they also came out with a vanilla flanker. It's Lancôme La Vie Belle Vanille. Another one, I just want to get my nose on it. I would totally buy a carded sample of that because I think I'm gonna really like it. I really enjoy the La Vie Belle flankers more than I enjoy the original La Vie Belle, but the older I get, the more I'm like really starting to like the La Vie Belle scent profile. Again, I think it's because we're getting far enough removed from when it was really, really popular. And now I'm coming around full circle to where I'm like, okay, now I feel like I can enjoy it because it's just not, you're just not smelling it everywhere anymore. But anyways, yeah, I really want to smell the vanilla flanker of that. I still have never smelled Jimmy Choo I Want You. So I really need to get my nose on that one. It's got flankers now. Again, I haven't smelled any of those, but I really want to get my nose on them. The note breakdown of just the original one looks like something that I would like. But I have heard that it smells generic. So yeah, I might not like it because of that. But I do need, again, I need to just go to Ulta and sniff these because I know that they've got a tester of that. A couple of sniff fragrances, Sniff Hotcakes. I've really been wanting to get my nose on that one because I think it's got a maple note in it, and I'm such a sucker for a maple note in a perfume. And also Crème Couture. I had somebody leave a comment on a video recently saying that Creme Couture is so good and yummy and jammy. And I'm really into jammy fragrances right now, so I really would love to get my nose on that one. I know Duo makes a dupe of Creme Couture. I don't know if it's a good dupe or not though, so I probably need to smell the real thing first before I buy a dupe of it. I don't know. Okay, Nest came out with a couple of new fragrances that I'm super interested in. I'm actually interested in all of the new fragrances that they came out with, but they came out with one called Santa Barbara Strawberry. I saw that one some months ago and I've been super intrigued by it. I love Nest fragrances for the most part, especially the fragrances in that line. They also came out with a lychee rose. Is that what it is? Yeah, a lychee rose that I really, really want to get my nose on because I love a lychee rose combination. I am afraid that that one's going to smell a little bit like Delina though. And if it does smell like Delina, then I'm not going to like that one. But that one I just need to get my nose on. And then they also came out with a vanilla bourbon. And you guys know I love vanilla. I have the Madagascar vanilla and I like the Madagascar vanilla, but it's got a very prominent coconut note in it. So I almost consider the Madagascar vanilla one more of a coconut fragrance than I do a vanilla fragrance. So I'm hoping that the vanilla bourbon one is more of like a true vanilla fragrance. But yeah, I just need to get my nose on those ones. They also have like a creamy clementine or a clementine, oh my gosh, clementine creme or something like that. I also want to get my nose on that one because I feel like that's going to smell like orange sherbet. I could be wrong, but yeah, Nest they've got a whole bunch of fragrances out right now that I really, really want to get my nose on. One that I want a full bottle of, and I've been wanting a full bottle of forever, and I've got a couple bottles saved in my eBay watch list, but I'm afraid to pull the trigger because again, you just never know when it comes to like vintage perfumes. But I want a vintage bottle of Calvin Klein Euphoria. I love that scent. I started wearing that back in, I think the year it was released, 2006, 2007. I wish I still had my original bottle. I wore that before, I was wearing that before I wore Hypnotic Poison. And I love Euphoria. I do think my husband's gonna hate that one. I don't think I ever wore that one around him. So he won't have an association of that fragrance with me, and I don't think that he's gonna like that one. I do have a little mini bottle or half-ounce bottle of the new formulation, but it's not the same. It's totally watered down. It's just not the same. So I really need to pick up a full bottle of the like a vintage full bottle. Okay, back to Mugler, a couple of alien flankers that I really want to get my nose on. Again, I don't know that I even want travel sprays of these, but the extra intense, the alien extra intense, I really want to get my nose on, as well as the alien hyper sense. I really want to get my nose on both of those. Yeah, I love the extra intense bottle. That black and purple bottle is so cool looking. I really need to get my nose on those. I hope that they have them at Ulta, but I don't know. My Ulta doesn't have like a huge fragrance section, so I don't know if they'll have all the testers. Now, I could check Sephora, but I think the closest Sephora I have is in a Kohl's, so I'll have to check there too. Another full bottle that has been on my wish list for ages and I need to just buckle down and get it is Gucci Bamboo. I love the EDT version of Gucci Bamboo. I don't love the EDP version, but the EDT version is so beautiful. I went through a bottle of that, gosh, years and years ago. I want to say back in maybe like 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. I don't know. Don't quote me on that because I can't totally remember. I know it was back in that, maybe it was like 2015. I think it was more like 2015. But anyways, I went through like a 30 ml bottle of that back then because it was such an easy reach fragrance. It was one of those that I could just easily reach for it, sprayed on. I knew I was going to smell good. I knew it wasn't going to be offensive to other people. And I loved it. And I have never purchased it, so I really want to pick up a full bottle of that. I really want to get my nose on the Love Shack Fancy fragrances. I have not placed an order with Sephora for ages. I do know that Sephora used to have a little discovery kit of the Love Shack Fancy fragrances. I don't know if they still have that or not, but I would love to get my nose on them. I've heard they're super generic smelling, but I still want to smell them. Replica Afternoon Delight. I really want to get my nose on it. However, it is another one that is just not, it's like a hit or miss. People either really like it or they really hate it. So yeah, I'm just going to need to smell it for myself. I typically really like replica fragrances, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes they do kind of miss the mark. So we'll see. Afternoon Delight, I think it's supposed to be like a somewhat gourmand fragrance. It's getting really, really mixed reviews. Let me know if you guys have smelled it and what you think of it, if you have smelled it. The Seven Virtues Buttercream Haze. I didn't even know that that fragrance existed until recently. As soon as I saw it, I was like, absolutely yes, I need to get my nose on that. I love Seven Virtues fragrances. I think they're beautiful. They're super long lasting on, sorry, my voice is still messed up. They're super long lasting on me, and I just really, really like how they smell. I feel like the Seven Virtues are really good quality fragrances, so I really want to smell that one. Though I don't think it's going to be anything groundbreaking, and I'm sure I've probably smelled a million other things that smell like it, I still feel like I need to smell it. Marc Jacobs Perfect Absolute. Somebody just recently commented on one of my videos saying that that's what they have been like really loving. Apparently it's like an ambery fig fragrance. That kind of sounds a little bit like decadence to me, so I have to get my nose on that fragrance. Have to. I feel like that's going to be one that I am going to really end up loving. If so, I'm definitely going to see if I can get a travel spray of that one. But I do want to get my nose on it first before I buy a travel spray. But I feel like that's going to be the closest thing to decadence that we're going to get, like with the current Marc Jacobs perfume lines. So yeah, I really want to get my nose on that one. I still want to smell Phlur Missing Person. I still have never smelled that one. That's another house that I have been like wanting to get a discovery kit from, or wanting to get a discovery kit, but I don't know. I'm kind of interested in the house, but then kind of not. I have smelled some of the other fragrances, like I don't know what it is, heavy cream or something. And it was fine. I don't think that they're probably reinventing the wheel or anything. So I don't know. It's a house that is very, very much hyped up on social media. And because of that, it immediately like turns me off. I can't get excited about stuff that gets so hyped up. But I do still want to smell Missing Person. Everybody raved about it. I have a feeling it's going to smell something like Glossier You, or I don't know, something like that. But we'll see. I need to buckle down and get my nose on it. YSL Black Opium Glitter. So apparently that fragrance actually has like a marshmallow note in it, and I feel like I have to have a travel spray of that. So I love the Le Perfume version of Black Opium. It has so far been my absolute favorite version of Black Opium. And I think because it's so vanilla heavy and it's sweeter, and so seeing that the glitter version has an actual marshmallow note in it, I feel like I need a travel spray of that one. The new Guerlain Shalimar L'Essence. Somebody asked me recently if I was going to pick that up. I will probably not pick up a full bottle of it, but I do want to get my nose on it for sure. I'll see if maybe I can find a decant of it or a carded sample or something, because I really, really do want to get my nose on it, but it's not one that I would probably pick up a full bottle of, just because I have so many bottles of different Shalimars that I just don't need another full bottle unless it's so special, and unless it's something that I'm going to love so much that I'm going to want to wear it all the time. There's Seven Virtues fragrance. So Seven Virtues has a fragrance called Candied Lychee. And again, I think I will really like that one. Lychee can be kind of weird on me sometimes though. So that's one that I'm going to need to get my nose on. I'll probably need to like spray it on my hand, test it on my skin, something before I, decide if I would like a rollerball or a travel spray of that one. I'm hoping the Seven Virtues has changed and they're doing travel sprays now instead of rollerballs, because I hate rollerballs. But if that was a good one on me, I would definitely want a travel spray of it. That one I'm probably gonna wait until it starts to warm up again though, before I really worry about smelling that one. I still wanna get my nose on the Valentino Voce Viva Intense version. I've heard really good things about that one. I have not gotten my nose on it though, and I haven't ordered a carded sample. I do think that FragranceNet has carded samples of it. But I have not worried about it because I was just so put off by the original Voce Viva fragrance. I just felt like it was so generic that I couldn't even imagine how an intense version would be any better than that. But I'm hearing really, really good things about the intense version, so I feel like I need to get my nose on it. Okay, there is a fragrance that I came across on Sephora recently from a house called, I think it's like the Harlem Fragrance Company or Harlem something. And it's a fragrance called Langston, and it's supposed to be like a chocolate and tonka bean fragrance. And anytime I see chocolate and tonka bean as like the main notes in a fragrance, I immediately think of Gallagher Perfume's Wicked Good. And so I would love to be able to get my nose on that one. I think I am gonna go to the Sephora in Kohl's just to see if I can maybe sniff it. I don't know if they've got it in store or not, or if that's just online only. I feel like I saw that it was online only though. I might have to look for a decanter, maybe a carded sample or something somewhere else. But yeah, I really want to get my nose on it. I think it's called Harlem Fragrance Company. No, sorry, Harlem Perfume Company. I think it's called Harlem Perfume Company, and the fragrance is called Langston. Okay, I had mentioned to you guys, I think in like a chatty get ready with me video, that there was a 7 Virtues limited edition like duo of fragrances. They're both one is for Canada and one is for America. The one for Canada is called O Canada, like OH Canada, O Canada. And then the one for America is O America, EAU. So O America, super cute. Canadian one has the Canadian flag on the front. The American one has the American flag on the front. The Canadian one has notes of like bacon and maple syrup in it. People say though that you really don't get like any kind of weird bacon note in it. It's predominantly like a maple fragrance. So I am all in on that. The American one has an apple pie note in it and a barbecue note. But again, people say that the barbecue note isn't like a prominent weird barbecue note, that it's almost like a kind of like a spice. I want them. I just want them because they're limited edition, because I just think that's super cute. It's called the Unity Duo too, which I just think is super cute. So I really want them. You can buy the duo for, I think it's $140 for both of them, which I think, and they're full bottles. So I think that's a super good deal. I do want to pick that up at some point. Another fragrance I've been dying to get my nose on because I've seen people talk about it and talk about how much they like it. It's a Misaki Matsushima, if that's how I'm saying, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Misaki Matsushima fragrance, and it's called Shiro. And it's supposed to be like a clean floral, I think. I've been seeing that one talked about here and there, and I really want to get my nose on that one. I think I can get a travel spray of that on the makeup website for like $12. So that's one I need to just buckle down and get. Lush Sticky Dates. I still have not gotten my nose on that fragrance. I've been tempted to pick up the duo dupe of it, but that fragrance gets super, super mixed reviews. People either really love it or really hate it. So I feel like I need to get my nose on it first before I buy it, because Lush fragrances, they're not super expensive, but I just don't want to invest in a bottle, like a full bottle of something, unless I know I'm going to love it and want to wear it, because after what I've been through with this declutter, which has literally, it's like taken everything out of me to like declutter these fragrances and to get them listed and to just even deal with it at all. It has been so hard. So I don't want to be in that position again. So I'm going to be very, very selective on what I bring into my collection moving forward. So I feel like I just really need to get my nose on that fragrance before I buy it in any form, whether it be the real thing or a dupe. Another fragrance that has been recommended to me so many times is Lanvin Oxygen. And it's like you can get a full bottle of it for like $22 on FragranceNet. So it's a really inexpensive fragrance. I do think I'm gonna really like it because I think it's like a 2000 style kind of freshy type fragrance. And so many people have recommended that to me over the years, and I just keep forgetting to pick up a bottle when I do like my fragrance net orders. So that has been on my wish list forever, and it's like very close to the top. This one makes me so sad because I came across a bottle of it on Fragrance Net probably a couple years ago, never picked it up. It's completely sold out now. I haven't looked for it on the gray market. It's probably super expensive, even if I did find it on the gray market, but it's one of the Maison Lancôme fragrances, and it's called Rose Peonia. And it's like a rose peony combination fragrance, and I want it so badly. And it's been on my wish list forever. And at this point, I think I'm gonna have to look on the gray market and hope that I can find a bottle of it. Another one, I've been really like laying off Middle Eastern fragrances because they just don't work for me most of the time. And a lot of the time the dupes just don't smell close enough to the original fragrances for me to want to pick up their dupes. But there is a new shag, it's not new. It came out in 2019, I think. It's a Shag Half Oud fragrance, and it's called Vanilla Toffee, I think. And I read reviews of it. That one went on my wish list a long time ago, but it's like resurfacing because it's that time of year that I'm looking for warm, cozy gourmands. So I went and looked at reviews of it, and it is getting terrible reviews, or it's gotten pretty terrible reviews. Most people don't like it. They said it's not like a vanilla toffee fragrance. It's not sweet. It's not gourmand. They do say it's like warm and spicy though. So I don't know. I feel like I want to get my nose on it. Like I just want to, maybe I can find a decant of it or something, or maybe one of you have smelled it and you can let me know if it's worth even trying to get my nose on. I don't know, but it's Shag Half Oud from Swiss Arabian. Another vanilla fragrance. When I wrote that one down, I was like, ooh, the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Bosca Vanilla Forte is what it's called. Still have never gotten my nose on that one. I think Dua makes a dupe of it though, so I'm gonna have to get on and look. If they do, I may pick up the Dua dupe of it. But I don't know. You guys let me know if you've smelled that one before. I haven't smelled it. I haven't even really pursued it at all because I don't have the best luck with how the Aqua Allegoria fragrances perform on me. So it's not a fragrance I would probably pick up a full bottle of. If Dua makes a dupe, I would pick up the dupe of it because the Dua dupe would probably perform way better than the actual fragrance. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that one if you have smelled it. And then last but not least, I always come across, every time I'm browsing Fragrance Net, I always come across the Tutti Delices fragrances. They do have like a vanilla, I don't know, it's like a vanilla fragrance. I'm always tempted by it, and they're really, really inexpensive. But again, I'm being so selective about what I bring into my collection that I don't care if it's inexpensive. I don't want to deal with the clutter of it or with having to declutter it if I don't love them. But they do have a ton of like gourmand fragrances, and they all come in these cute little cupcake bottles, and I'm so intrigued by them. I would love to get my nose on them, but I would actually more love it if any of you guys have smelled any of the Tutti Delices fragrances. If you have smelled them, are they worth picking up? Are they worth getting my nose on? They're very inexpensive, so I would definitely be willing to pick up like one or two if they're worth it. I think my fear is that they're gonna be childish, like that they're gonna smell juvenile, which is why I haven't picked any of them up. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna end that here. I knew that was a lot, but yeah, that is a little portion of like an updated kind of wish list based more on a lot of perfumes that have been released kind of more recently that I need to get my nose on. I would love to hear what fragrances you guys have on your wish list. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.